Bismillah. Okay, so in this video, I want to document on how to install Ruby on Rails on Windows 11. So, uh, we are going to install it based on the documentation. So, if we watch the documentation on the Ruby on Rails guide, there are a few steps. First, we must install the Ruby on Windows. But if we see on the documentation, it is recommend to install Ruby using WSL or Windows Subsystem for Linux. In this video, I will not use WSL, but I will use a Ruby installer. So what's important is the result. So because Ruby installer is relatively easy to install and not too big on the disk space, so I'm using a Ruby installer. So if we are using Ruby installer, we can just click this download button and choose the Ruby plus dev kit and download which one correspond to our computer architecture. I am using x64. So this is what I am download, and then we can just install the Ruby following uh, the guide by following the guide. So whether we install using Ruby installer or using WSL, the most important things is we then need to verify our Ruby install by running this command on our CLI application. On my side, I will use PowerShell. So I'm starting my PowerShell, and then we check whether Ruby already installed using this command. So Ruby now has been installed on my computer. Okay, so now we are going to move by installing Rails. So to install Rails is really simple. You can just run this command, gem install Rails. But on Windows, my tips is whenever we open the command line application, make sure we open it as administrator. So we can use way like this. For example, if we want to open using PowerShell, we right click it and we run as administrator. Or if we using command prompt, we right click and we run as administrator. I'm going to show. Okay, so wait. Okay, so now I'm opening a Windows PowerShell and running it as administrator. Then we can run the command gem install Rails. And if we are succeed, we can check our installation by running this command Rails dash dash version. I already installed this gem, so I can just check it. Rails version. We are going to wait for a while. Okay, so now I have this gem. This is Rails 8.0.2. So the gem installation is complete. Now we can move to get started with Rails, how to install and running it. And if we see the guides on getting started with Rails, what we need to do is we need to create a new Rails app, right? So for this, we need at least we need to install Ruby 3.2 or newer, and we already have our Ruby. Here, our Ruby is on version 3.4, so it's okay. And the Rails version is also has been satisfied. And we are going to use Visual Studio Code as our code editor. And then to create our first Rails app, we can use this command, Rails new. And the store is our application name. So we can change the store with other name, like maybe we want to use something else. We write, we type Rails new, maybe my app. We can write it this way, and then we click, and then we press enter. And then Rails will download uh, the app, and we can start to uh, write our Rails app. And this process, it may takes a while. Like in my case, this this step, it needs first it needs administrator role. It needs administrator role, and if we are not on administrator, it may generate some error during our process. So we are going to run this command, and I'm going to do that, but this is going to take a while. Okay, while we are waiting for the installation to complete, I'm going to share a little motivation on why I make this documentation video, because there is a little differences on how we install the Ruby and how we run the Rails application. Okay, I am going to move to the documentation again. So if we are following the Ruby on Rails guide on how to install Ruby, we are recommended to use Windows subsystem for Linux. Uh, for me, this process it require uh, this space, and the space is quite big. It could be several gigabytes in my experience, whether we are choosing Ubuntu for the distribution or other distribution. And for me, installing Windows subsystem for Linux in the future, it may cause us some confusion during the configuration for application that run in Windows subsystem, and when we run another application that run in our Windows system. And for beginner, that is something that can confuse us as beginner. So in my opinion, I think it is better if we install the Ruby using Ruby installer. Because if we install using Ruby installer, we only install the Ruby itself and some tools called this MS-YS2 toolchain as its development kit. So we have a separate environment because the toolchain and the Ruby is installed in the Windows system, and we are not making subsystem that can confuse us in the future. Okay, so our Rails installation are still not, oh, it's finished. So it's finished. Now I'm going to move to my application. It is in my app, right? So if we follow the Ruby on Rails guides, we are ordered to switch to the application directory, And to run our real server, we are told to run the following command. But I'm going to show you. When I copy this command, I'm going to use this command. I'm copying and then I paste it here. Then I press enter. It is not showing, uh, it is not, it's not working. I'm doing it again. See, now it uh, the result is there is a pop-up window, but this is not the result that we want. So I'm going to press escape and we need some way to run this server. So in my case, to run the server, we need to move to the bin folder. So we are going to this. I'm moving to the directory called bin, and then I use the command again, Rails server. So this way, in my computer, we can run the Rails server. I don't know what is the best practice on this, but this is on in my case, this is the way I run Ruby on Rails in the Ruby on Rails server in my computer. So it is already running, and we can see it on this address. I click it. It's still loading. Okay, and now we have it, the Rails version 8 landing page. As you can see, we are able uh, to run the Rails application. So with this, we complete our documentation on how to install Ruby on Rails in Windows 11 and how to run the server. I make this documentation because there is some slight differences, like on how I install the Ruby and how I run the Rails server. That's it. Uh, Thank you for watching. And maybe if you have something to discuss, leave it on the you can leave it on the comment section. Thank you.